Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and today we're talking South Park. Matt Stone, Trey Parker, the creators of South Park and Team America, and Book of Mormon, and so many amazing things. Basketball. They're back in the news because they were promoting their new upcoming season, which is, oh my God, I can't believe it's the 23rd season. That's right. Comedy Central has now renewed them through 2022. So South Park will be around for quite a little while still. And they were talking not only about obviously this new cancel culture we live in, but also Dave Chappelle and also original movies they want to make, which, yes, please. I love the fact that they want to go out there and make original theatrical movies. They are these guys, as they've said, like Chappelle, have sort of been grandfathered in where they sort of can't get canceled. I mean, if you really think about it, South Park has been attempted to be canceled every season over the years. They've always pushed the boundaries. And when they talked about it, there was only one thing they went back to try and change, which was Man Bear Pig, which you remember their version, their episode with Al Gore. They ended up doing a two-parter a couple years ago to sort of try and make up for that because they felt like that episode didn't hold up well, and they really did believe in climate change, and they wanted to sort of make a stance and change themselves. In the article that was on the Hollywood Reporter, which I suggest you all read, they talk about all of this. Particularly that Man Bear Pig thing was very interesting to me, where they went back and sort of talked about how that didn't hold up. We also felt like all of our episodes, that one did not age very well, and we came up with a funny idea how to use Man Bear Pig as a parable. I always felt like if we were going to rewrite that or comment on it or tone it, whatever you want to call it, it's in kind. In other words, we didn't want to just say in some interview, well, we don't feel so great about that episode. It doesn't feel as good as F it, we'll do a whole two-parter. And it just is not, and it is not just a toning. We beat ourselves up pretty good. We can do an entire season of toning. It's been effing 22 years. We're pretty different people now. And I also appreciate they talked about how last season, which I appreciated as a viewer, they stopped doing political stuff. Specifically, they stopped Mr. Garrison as Donald Trump, which had become sort of a reoccurring character in the show. It was nice for us, Parker said. It was nice to not come in and talk about Donald Trump, and I think it was nice for people to watch and go, oh yeah, there's still comedy outside of effing Donald Trump. There's still funny stuff as the world goes on, and you can get your Trump comedy on so many other shows. Amen. I think it's great. And I love this idea that they now are saying they want to go and do original movies. They're champing at the bit to make another film like 2004's Team America World Police. We think of ourselves as filmmakers, and it's like everyone's doing TV now. It's like movies. Even though the movie business is all effed up, and everyone will tell you don't go into movies, we just want to do a movie. They're tight-lipped about their plans, but Stone assured they're really killer ideas. And they're not South Park related. Still, they have no interest in the film for streaming purposes. Theoretically, I would like it to be in theaters so people have to watch it together, Parker says. And we really like premiere parties. I love that too. There's something about the theater experience. We all know this. When you watch, I remember seeing Jackass in the movie. I remember seeing South Park, the movie, back in the theater. It was like going to church. The audience, we were all united. We were laughing our butts off. It was offensive, but it was South Park. Cartman can get away with those things. And it was just really, really a good time in the theater. So I love it. And I love Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon was able to take so many offensive things, but then also give it heart and a point. If you haven't seen that show, it's fantastic. I look forward to seeing that film eventually too, when it's done printing money on Broadway. That's usually how those work. Print the money on Broadway, then make the movie. But yeah, they go on and specifically hit on cancel culture, Dave Chappelle, etc. Their quotes here said, that they've had to endure through the years. Obviously, cancel culture is different and something that deeply irks them. They talked about, it's new, Stone says, of cancel culture. The term used to refer to boycotts started usually via social media when a group is offended by a brand. Stone went on to say, I don't want to say it's the same as it's always been. The kids are effing different than us. There's a generational thing going on. Obviously, they were talking about Dave Chappelle being the crosshairs of Sticks and Stones, and Stone went on to say, I know some people have been canceled for genuinely personal behavior, but Dave is not getting canceled anytime soon. Joking that South Park Chappelle are grandfathered out of the culture. Stone also shared a theory, which I found interesting, why critics were so hard on the latest Chappelle special. And I think this was interesting. This is why I wanted to do this article and obviously sum you up on what the South Park creators are up to. But they said, I feel bad for television critics and cultural critics. They may have laughed like hell at that. And then they went home and they know that they have to write and keep their job. So when I read TV reviews or culture reviews, I think of someone in prison writing. I think about somebody writing a hostage note. This is not what they think. This is what they have to do to keep their job in a social media world, so I don't hold it against them. That's a really fascinating idea, and I don't disagree with him. I've been there as a Screen Junkies person, I had to hold things in that I didn't want necessarily to be myself. And I'm glad now, in a way, I can finally be myself. And it wasn't like I was told not to say things, but there is this sort of social media stigma, and especially in the Hollywood bubble, where you just are afraid to speak out of the norm. And I think he's right. There are some critics who are probably watching that show and afraid to admit how funny parts of it were, because sometimes we laugh differently in private than we do in public. And as a TV critic, you have to sort of keep your brand and your bosses happy by not sort of saying you like something that's overly offensive in this day and age of where we live in, where everyone can be just destroyed via words on social media. So very interesting words from them. I've always looked up to those guys. I think Matt and Trey are fantastic creators. Whether you like South Park now or still, you got to give them respect. They've been on for so long. There's always at least a few good episodes, if not a whole season, that's worthy. So I'm looking forward to South Park coming back. Give it a shot. It's going to premiere this 23rd season premieres on September 25th on Comedy Central. I believe they stream it on Hulu and stuff afterwards, so you'll be able to find it on other streaming platforms. But I look forward to seeing what they do next, as well as upcoming original movies by them. Yes, please, more of those, Hollywood. What do you think? Are you still a fan of South Park? What's your favorite season? What's your favorite episode? Do you think they're right? Do you think Sticks and Stones critics are being held at hostage hot note territory where they feel like they can't actually say what they really think? Let's leave it all down in the comments below, or hit me up on social media at Andy Signor. And please, please, please help me against this YouTube algorithm. Hate to keep repeating myself, but hit that little subscription and that notification bell so you can get alerted of these videos, or follow me on social media so you can get alerted. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye, everybody.